According to Cohen from the New York Times, in the last 35 years, tuition to private and out-of-state universities has dramatically risen 1,200%. This outstanding increase has become a major stumbling block for young adults who are trying to further their education and pursue a meaningful career. In 2012, the average student walked away from college with diploma in hand and a burdensome average debt of around $30,000, according to Ellis from the cable news network. It is even worse for students attending private Christian universities that so exceptionally invest in ministry and molding this generation's next spiritual leaders. They do not equip their students to pursue such fields very well. Not only should universities like private Christian ones be preparing their students academically and spiritually, but also they should be preparing their students financially, especially those students pursuing a career on the mission field. SimplyHired.com says the average person pursuing a career in ministry-related field only make about $43,000 per year on average, which means that these students are left with insufficient means to pay for the outrageous debts accumulated while studying at their respective private Christian universities. It is difficult for these particular students because if they want to pursue a ministry-related field, going to a Christian university is imperative to receive the necessary education and practice. For the fraction of students pursuing cross-cultural ministry or missionary work, their outstanding debt after college becomes even more burdensome reality when they realize that they are not even able to pursue their career full-time until they have completely cleared their debt. Many, if not most, missionary organizations will not allow someone to practice full-time until their debt is cleared. Not only is this a standard for many missionary organizations, but also on the mission field with a $40,000 debt would not be wise anyway. Missionaries make very little to no money. More times than not, their income depends upon the support of other people donating. While the missionaries are working on no income, their $40,000 debt is sitting and compounding and accumulating interest, making the debt even greater. This is not a scenario missions-oriented people want to get themselves into. Therefore, they are stuck after graduation working in-between jobs until they can clear their debt, which may take many, many years to accomplish. For schools that pride themselves so much on their ministry programs and preparing students to be pastors, evangelists, counselors, and missionaries, the majority of Christian universities do not prepare their students well financially for life after college. Their allocation of student scholarships is a bit questionable. The fact that there are full-ride scholarships available to students pursuing a college football career, but not any scholarships offered to the students hoping to become full-time pastors or missionaries is ridiculous. Molly Block, a college journalist at Texas State, says, "The fact still remains many student athletes have everything provided for them in college, giving them a distinct advantage over their peers. The experience of playing on a college team itself is valuable, working much like an unpaid internship for another student. For non-athlete students, however, the experiences of unpaid internships do not come along with a full-ride scholarship. In a way, college athletes are already getting paid. Universities should never have to shell out even more finances just to satisfy their athletes." According to NCAA's website, only 1.7% of college football players will move on to full-time career of professional football after graduation, while students who are studying ministry will more than likely pursue ministry after graduation. Therefore, private Christian universities are failing to accommodate these students who are earnestly seeking a meaningful and God-honoring career and instead putting its money towards students and programs that will not expound beyond the walls of the university and seem to only be present to support its own self-image. As institutions that strive to provide education with a Christian purpose, they should offer scholarships to students that are in pursuit of a career in ministry. This will allow students to avoid the effect of such high tuition rates and fully commit to their respective ministry positions without student loans as a barrier or looming financial cloud over their head. In order for this to become successful, it would take the trust and cooperation of the various universities' corporate staffs, which include the president, vice president, and the institution's chief financial officer. They may be concerned as to how they can support offering a scholarship of this magnitude to all students claiming to pursue a ministry-related career after graduation. There would need to be a form of accountability to ensure that each student receiving the scholarship is serious and about ministry and will indeed obtain a ministry position after graduation. In the same way that ministers must meet before a board each year to renew their minister's license before being ordained, these students must do the same type of thing. They will update the board on their progress spiritually and be asked various questions to make sure that they are on the right track and pursuing ministry with the right intentions and not just to receive the money. Another concern that may arise among the corporate level is how they plan to keep the students that are receiving the scholarship accountable after graduation. It is understandable that they would want to know whether these students would be pursuing things such as missionary work for short-term or for long-term after completion of college, because a short-term missionary would not be in the same financial need category as someone who plans to make it a lifelong career. Someone only planning to spend 6 months serving somewhere like, let's say, Honduras, would not meet the scholarship requirements as someone who plans to move to Honduras permanently and spend most, if not the remainder of their life there, surviving without salary, but rather living off the money that is donated to them. Therefore, the short-term ministry would not be as eligible as such with grand scholarship as the latter. When they first apply to the scholarship, they would be informed that in order to receive and maintain their money, they must commit to serve in the ministry field for a minimum of 10 years. There will be a yearly accountability checkup, and if they fail to follow through with their end of the commitment, a portion of their scholarship will be revoked depending on the number of years they have already served. For a person who understands the present-day financial struggles of being a student at a private university, creating this scholarship specifically for students pursuing ministry would positively affect the overall college experience. As a student progresses through their 4 years of college, the reality of financial struggles becomes more and more real each time a new loan must be requested because personal finances and aid from the state and from the university are just not enough. Stress begins to take over as graduation rolls closer and closer, and they see the large financial mountain standing in between them and the career that they so earnestly wish to pursue. After graduating, if a student does not have a large burdensome financial mountain looming over them and their career, they will be more than likely to see the alma mater and their overall experience there in a better light. The time will come when these private universities will be depending on its graduates to give back to the institution and support the school financially. Each graduate will receive a call asking them to donate to their alma mater, and this is the moment when the student will briefly think back to their college experience and decide if the school deserves their support. It will all depend on how they think it adequately prepared them for life after college in every aspect, socially, academically, spiritually, and financially. If students are still greatly struggling with the mountain of debt whenever that call rolls around, the university is likely to receive a resounding no, with a hint of bitterness woven in. For example, if 5 years down the road a student alum who had plans to enter the mission field but is still unable to because of the debt they are paying off from school receives a call from their alma mater asking them to give financial support, they will be enraged, that is, asking them for help when the school never adequately helped them themselves. On the other hand, if the student feels that the university did prepare them financially, they'll be more than likely to send their support, and the school will likely gain more financial partners. The gain of financial partners would likely bridge the financial gap that corporate would be worried about if the scholarship program were to be put in place. Schools would be making themselves a better reputation for preparing its students for the real world and offering a sense of financial security after walking across the platform on graduation day. This kind of reputation would give future or transferring students who desire pursuing a field in ministry but are hesitant of the high tuition rates a good and affordable college option, and with more students will come more revenue to make up for the possible financial deficit that the new scholarship program would create. All in all, implementing this scholarship program would benefit both the student and Christian university as an institution. It will potentially better financially support the student pursuing a career in ministry. It would bring more attention to the university in a very good way and cause more students to choose its institution over other competing institutions because of its unbeatable financial offers.